Hello everyone, it's Cassidy and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a reading vlog. This one's gonna have like no particular theme. I just want to vlog because they're ones that I'm quite excited for or like interested in seeing my reaction for. I think all of them here. So we're just gonna do a reading vlog, chill one with no theme, but we love that. So currently, what I've been reading this whole month so far is Twisted Love by Ana Huang. This is the first book in the Twisted series. I am 50% through, basically. I'm on page 150, and I think there's like 330 something, plus then a bonus scene, but bleh. Then I also have Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. There's a bookmark in there, but I haven't read anything. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. And then finally, The Agathas by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson. A little bit of time to read, and I kind of want to read outside, and so that's why I thought I was going to pick this up. I tend to read, when I read a Colleen Hoover, I tend to read it pretty fast, so I thought maybe like this would help me get ahead on my reading. But I also really want to read this, and I want to read it like outside in the sun, but it's a longer one. But then also, I'm halfway through this, so like, should I just keep reading it? But I don't read it, I mean, I'm not reading it slow by any means. I just don't think I want to read a lot of it right now. So I'm conflicted on what I want to do now. I'm thinking I'm going to start with Ugly Love. I am intrigued because people love it, people hate it, and I've heard things, I've heard spoilers, and I kind of just want to get to it and like see what I think. It's actually the next day, but I put this shirt back on. Let's talk about Twisted Love since I'm halfway through. So this one is about Alex and Ava. So we have Ava, who is this girl who has some trauma from her childhood that she kind of blocks a lot of stuff out, which leads to her like having nightmares and stuff. But her brother Josh is really protective of her, and he is going away for, I don't know, a year, I forget, for some medical, I don't know, volunteering or something, I can't remember. Anyways, so he gets his best friend to watch over her while he's gone because he's worried about her. She's really trusting and he just wants the best for his sister. So he gets his best friend Alex to watch over her. And Alex is like a typical grumpy man who doesn't like anyone. He also has a lot of trauma from his childhood and can't sleep from it. And so he moves in next to her. It starts off with like this Operation Emotion, which I didn't really like. It was like trying to get him to feel emotion. Ava and her friends were trying to do this because they didn't think he could feel a single emotion because he doesn't show emotions at all. So she was like trying to basically manipulate him into feeling emotions. So that was kind of how they started to spend time together. And then, yeah, it's just gone from there. At like the first like 10 pages of this, or no, I don't know, it goes in between both of their perspectives. And as soon as I met him, I was like, oh, absolutely not. Like, he made me cringe so much. And it was like trying to make him seem more hard than he is. And he was actually just like rude. Throughout this 155 pages that I've read, I go in between liking him and not, or more just like not liking him and feeling indifferent about him. Like I'll like a cutthroat mafia type of guy, love interest, but he just doesn't feel like that, even though he has like this whole revenge plan, which we've heard a little bit about, but I kind of wish it would have been gone into more in depth already, but maybe that's a big part of the second half. And then she's like, okay, I don't dislike her, I don't love her. I was scared for this one because I know people like hate this one and like it gives them the ick. And I can see if you'd like DNF'd in the first like 50 pages because he was very icky in the first 50 pages. It's not as bad, I think. But again, I'm not like in love with him. I'm halfway through and it's just gonna be the first spicy scene. And I thought these books were like spicy, like the whole book. And it's literally halfway through the book. Like 10 pages under halfway through the book. And we're just getting to it. So that's a little long for me. I can put this book down pretty easily. Probably like 3 stars, 3.5. Yeah, I can understand why people didn't like it. But I don't hate it as much as I was kind of scared I was going to. So yeah, I only read a little bit of Ugly Love yesterday. Just my plan of reading for a while didn't go as planned. I don't feel like going to get my tripod, so we're leaning down. But I'm on page 236. I have 100 pages left. But I'm kind of getting the ick. There's this scene, page 228, 229. The main male character is snooping around somewhere. And he's like, I can't get caught, you know, of course. And, oh, it's so cringy to me, this part. I shoved the letters into the wall, folding them the way I found them, and screwed the outlet cover back on. I crawled out from beneath the table, placed the pawn in the same position it had been before I knocked it over, and pocketed both the paperclip and my gloves, which were sleek enough that they didn't create a visible bulge in my pants. Like, I don't know why, but that made me cringe so much, because he accidentally knocked a piece off the chessboard. He was just so smart that when he was in a hurry because someone was going to catch him, he remembered to pluck that off the floor and put it right in the exact same spot that it was supposed to be in. And his gloves just so happened to be so sleek that they could fit in his pocket without him creating a bulge in his pants. And I think it also annoyed me because there was another thing earlier in this chapter where he was like holding on to something to the point that it he's so tight it was making him bleed. And he's like, oh, I wiped my blood on my I'm like 99% sure it said conveniently dark pants. Yeah, convenient. So she knows what she's doing. Wiped the blood off of my conveniently dark pants and set it on the table. Stop. That's so cringy to me. Like, just don't even mention it. Just say wiped it on my pants. I don't think anyone's assuming he's wearing white pants, you know? That would not be my first assumption. So let's just leave that part out. And I don't know. I found that so cringy. And then now he's being rude. He walked up to her and she was talking to this guy that she knows and goes, why are you flirting with my girlfriend? Why do you get my girlfriend's number? She's like, back up. He wants to be a client because she's a photographer. The way I would leave this man in a second, that just felt so gross to me, and it was just not attractive, protective, you know? Yeah, sorry you had to watch me from this angle, but I'm too lazy. This is the next day and I just finished Twisted Love, so I wanted to come and talk to you about it. I feel very weird about this book. I think it's just funny, I feel like I simultaneously didn't like it and liked it. I don't even know if I'd say I liked it. I don't know the words for it, but I didn't hate it, but there were parts that I enjoyed, but I found parts of this very cringy. I've talked about that. So just don't know that I like how this was written. First of all, it felt so long for being 300. There's a bonus scene in here, so it's 341 pages. That's craziness. It felt like it was over 400 pages for sure, which is not a good thing. in my opinion, or at least not in this situation. At first I thought her part, it was like not remembering parts of her childhood and like her re-seeing this one memory. I thought the way it was written like was kind of cringy, and like that idea is really interesting to me. I just didn't like how it was written, but as it played out and the actual story of it came out, that was fun. Not really fun if you know what happens, but like that was enjoyable. This writing was like none of this could be happen. It was so split up. It felt like none of it could be happening at the same time. Like that was too much to the author, so she had to split it up. Like, oh, this is where they're trying to fall in love, this is where they're in love, and then this is where they get in a fight, don't talk for a week, this is where all of his stuff, I'm trying not to spoil anything, this is when everything comes together in his life, all the drama which puts her in danger, and then this is the aftermath. And it just like it didn't flow because of all the parts of it. Like they could have put this stuff together more. I think that goes hand in hand with it feeling too long. I don't know if that will really even make sense what I just said. There are time jumps near the end of this, and that is something I feel very conflicted on. This one felt like we missed so much. It's within the time, because of the time jumps, that it was just like, what is even going on? I've missed this whole chunk of your life. I have no clue what's going on in your life. I lost all of your storyline and lost all of your chemistry. First of all, I don't actually know that they had much chemistry on a personal level. Like, I think they just really wanted to have sex. And like, that's cool and all. I think she was trying to make us think they had chemistry, but there was just none. She doesn't know anything about him because he's so tough and all that. Like, I don't think she knows anything about him. Put this as a 3-star on Goodreads with like a comment or like a review saying could be 2.5. Because I feel very middle of the road. I don't hate this book. I know people say this is the weakest of this series, but it makes me have a no hurry at all, or not even really a want to read the next ones. There is like a little like hint to what the next book is gonna be about, and that one sounds like interesting, but I just don't know that I like her writing. So I'm definitely gonna be reading it on Kindle, not buying the $25.99 book. I'll eventually continue the series. The next one is Bridget, who is a princess, and her bodyguard. Cool. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. It's between two. The Agathas by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson, or Ugly Love, which I did start that other day. When I started this vlog, I read 16 pages of it. I think I want to read this next. I feel like I'll be able to read this one fast, even though it's like the longer one of the few that I have. But I just feel like since YA and YA mystery, I'll read it fast because I tend to read those faster. So I feel like this will be the next one I read. I'll probably start it tomorrow. I have the day off from work. I took the whole day off. I'm going to see Jack Harlow tomorrow, so I'm very excited for that, but I need to clean my whole place, go to the gym, shower, get ready, do all the things. I have to make this update kind of fast because I'm like out of storage, but I wanted to keep you updated on my reading and some stuff. So first off, I am on page 74 of the Agathas, and I am enjoying it so far. I'm gonna try and get to page, I think, what did I see? There was a chapter break on page 100. So I'll probably read to that tonight. It's 8 o'clock, so that's like another 25 pages. Nothing too crazy. I'm enjoying it. We are getting into the mystery a little bit. Girl, Brooke has officially gone missing, so that part of the mystery has started. Police aren't taking it super seriously because of one of our main girls, like main perspectives, Alice, who went missing a few months ago and she was totally fine and it was just her. I'm enjoying this so far. Nothing too much to report, but I'm excited to get more into this. Then I randomly decided to pick up, I think it's Scarlet Angel. I just looked at it, but I can't really remember. It's book 3 in the Mind F series by St. Abbey. I want to finish this series because I feel like it should be really easy and quick for me to, because they're each like maybe 130 pages each book and there's only 5 of them. So I just randomly picked it up and I'm 29% through it already, so like that's really good. Series follows a girl who is a serial killer. She has her reasons for being a serial killer, and then we have our other main character is this FBI guy who investigates serial killers, and they meet and they start dating, and turns out he is investigating her serial murders, and obviously he doesn't know it's her, but she kind of finds out that he is investigating her. We also hear the stories of other serial killers, which was a main part of the last book and this first like 30% of this one. It started off with like a big event, so it's going good. I did get Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it. This was one that I was interested in, but not sure like exactly how interested in it. I was these for free. I just am like not sure if it's gonna be a book for me, so I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on it. But I've heard great things about it, so I'm excited to actually have it now, and I didn't have to spend money on it, so we gotta love that. It is also like very... But I'm in my car on my break from work, and I thought I need to give you guys an update because I don't actually remember what the last update was. I have an idea, but I am officially more than halfway through the Agathas, so I thought I would let you know my thoughts on that. I haven't done all the reading I want to do today yet because it's still only like 4. But I'm on page 225. I'd like to get to page 250 at least tonight. So I still have like a good chunk left, like 170 pages left. Because it is on the longer side. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I definitely thought the Agatha Christie of it all would be more present. Agatha Christie gets like talked about in the way that like the detective that's in all of her books or most of her books, our main character Alice brings up quite a bit, being like, this detective does this, so it's okay if I do that. And there's like a quote for it every time it's Alice's perspective on a chapter. But I'm really enjoying it. I like made a murder board and have all their suspects, and they're trying to like, they're going through them, figuring out their alibis and all that. So I'm enjoying it. I'm not sure what this next 170 pages is gonna be like. That is kind of a long time for what I feel like is left, but we'll see if I enjoy it. But I am currently 90% through the Scarlet Angel, I think that's what I decided it was called, in the Mind F series. So I'm gonna wait until I finish that to tell you my thoughts on it, but I'm really close, so I'll finish that tonight. I was gonna finish it on my break, but I want to watch a vlog, so I will finish it maybe like right when I get home. It's making me feel very productive reading that. I don't remember if I talked to you yesterday or the day before. I'm thinking it was yesterday, but I did finish the Agathas just now. It's like 8 o'clock. And I really enjoyed this one. I think it was super fun. One thing I really enjoyed about it was that our 2 main characters weren't friends before. And we see their friendship build slowly, like they come from the different, one's a popular girl and the other is not. We see them come together and grow a friendship, and also that just in the grand scheme of things that there was two main characters was really fun, because I feel like a lot of the time with mysteries in general, it's just one character and maybe like a sidekick, even though at the beginning one is called the sidekick. It's kind of just like a not actually meant kind of thing. I forgot to mention that throughout this there's different like introductions of like transcripts and interviews. So it also makes it go by faster with those little interjections. The only part that I was like at was near the end when there is like the confrontation between our characters and the killer. It's a little cheesy, it's a little some may say stupid. I did not like the one part of that, so that would be my only thing, but it happened for like maybe 10 pages, so I can survive. So I'm really happy I got to this, and I will be checking out the next book came out, and there's like mentions of what their next mystery is gonna be at the end in the last, or an epilogue or whatever, called The Night in Question. I'm gonna definitely get to that in the future. I'm trying not to buy books at the moment, so, but it'll definitely be one I buy eventually. So I'm happy about this. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. So we love that. Then yesterday I did finish Scarlet Angel by S.T. Abbey, the 3rd book in the Mind F series, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and I think it was a really good installment. There's just something like holding me back from this series. I know people like love it, and I enjoy it, but there's just something missing for me, and I don't know what it is. And I don't know if it's the fact that I haven't been binging them, especially like the first one to the second one. It was like a year in between. Maybe there's something I'm missing with that, or I'm just like not loving it to the extent as everyone else, which is possible. But I'm gonna give that installment 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it had some fun aspects to it. Now it's time to pick my next read. These are the 3 books that are left on my official TBR. This one also could be technically After by Anna Todd, but I think I have decided I'm gonna do this one over that one. Before She Knew Him by Peter Swanson, because I have this for another vlog, so I know I'm gonna get to it and I wouldn't talk about it in this vlog anyway. Quite sure I was gonna pick this one. Another YA mystery, but very like different, historical. But I am gonna see my mom on Monday, and this is her book, so if I read this, that'd be good. Then I could give it to her on Monday. But will I finish it by Monday? We'll see. I'll let you know when I decide. It'll be between these two. I am 170 pages into Ugly Love, so just over halfway. So I thought I would do a little update. I'm hoping to read at least another 30 pages tonight, get to page 200, and then just have to read about 100 pages tomorrow. I don't know how I feel about this book. Like, it's weird. It just is not really at all what I was expecting. We have this main storyline of Tate and Miles, and they're doing like a friends with benefits thing. But on the back here it says he isn't looking for love and she doesn't have time for it, so that leaves just the sex. What they've got could be surprisingly satisfying as long as Tate can stick to the 2 rules Miles has for her. Never ask about the past, don't expect a future. They think they can handle it, but everything is different when real emotions start to change the equation. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I read it like that, but like I thought he was gonna be rude, but he just like doesn't really talk that much. So there's that too, like he just is a pretty quiet guy. I don't know, I thought he was gonna be more moody and just like rude, so that's interesting. I don't know, And then we also have the chapters of Miles' perspective, as of right now, still there from 6 years in the past. Those are interesting. I knew the, like, I don't want to say what it is, even though it's in like it might be like the second chapter, something that's not in the synopsis, so I don't want to say it, but someone spoiled it for me. It's people on BookTube, because people just like on sprints were like, oh, that's the one about blah blah blah's falling in love or whatever. Oh, I knew that was an aspect, and if you've read this book, you know like what his chapters are about. I feel very like about it. It's very like easy to read, quick, and like I do want to find out what's happening in his chapters, and his chapters are much shorter. I don't really like how they're written. That was like from the beginning. It was very 3 stars at this point. There's some interesting choices, I guess we can say that, but I feel like I've said nothing. But I'm just, as I'm trying to decide talk about my thoughts on this book, I'm realizing that like I don't really have any. Like, it's very blank slate, like very fine, which is it's hard to talk about. Okay, this is future editing me. I guess I never came back with my thoughts on Ugly Love, but basically they kind of stayed the same, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. I knew a little bit of the ending because of someone spoiling it in a bookstore, which is, don't be that person, but basically they saw the book and they were like saying to their friend what happens at the end, and I overheard it. I kind of knew part of the ending, but yeah, felt very middle of the road. I didn't despise it, but wasn't never gonna be one of my new favorite books. Had flaws, but was very bingeable, so that's something to me, I guess. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't film my final thoughts on it, so, or I did and I deleted it, I have no idea, but that was my thoughts. Okay, hello, it's been a while actually, but I think that means that this is the end of the vlog. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Both those would mean the absolute world to me. Comment down below if you've read any of the books that I read or mentioned in this vlog, and let me know what you thought of them. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!